Anin, Sego, hello everyone. Today we're going to be making some cheesy taco sticks. For today's recipe, we're going to use 1 tube of Pillsbury pizza dough, some ground beef, a package of taco seasoning, 5 cheese sticks that can be any flavor. We're going to also need 4 tablespoons of butter, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 teaspoon of parsley. We're also going to need a couple things from around the kitchen. We'll need a frying pan and a spatula or wooden spoon to cook our ground beef. We're going to need a colander to drain the beef once it's cooked. We'll use a baking sheet, some measuring spoons, a knife, and a big spoon or a silicone brush. Go and grab everything you need and then meet me back here and we'll get started. The first thing we need to do is preheat our ovens to 425 degrees. So go ahead and preheat your oven. Let's get ready to cook our ground beef. You can squeeze it out of the tube, or if you find that to be a little challenging, you can cut the tube open. That way you can get out all of your beef. Now I'm going to turn on the element and start breaking up my beef. We're going to keep breaking up the beef with a wooden spoon or spatula until it is fully browned and crumbled. This might take a little bit and you need to be extra careful, especially if you're around a hot oven. Always have an adult with you when you're cooking. Once your beef is cooked, we need to make sure that we drain it. What we're doing is draining any fat or grease off of the meat. We don't want to add that into our food because it might make our tummies hurt. Once we've got it drained, we're going to add it back into our frying pan. Now it's time to season our beef. Here you're going to use your package of taco seasoning. You can use the whole package or you can choose to use half. It all is up to you depending on how spicy you like it. We only used half in our recipe today. Make sure that you mix that ground beef with the seasoning and you get all of the seasoning mixed in well. Did you notice we didn't add any water? When you normally make tacos, sometimes you'll add water in with the seasoning, but this time we are not. Now we've set our beef aside and we'll grab our tube of Pillsbury pizza dough and our 5 cheese sticks. Go ahead and open up your 5 cheese sticks. We're going to use all 5, so no tasting. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cheese sticks. There's our knife. Now it's time to cut our cheese sticks in half. Make sure you keep your fingers out of the way, and once you've cut them in half, you can go ahead and set them aside. Good job cutting. Now we'll open up our Pillsbury pizza dough. These can be a little tricky, so maybe ask an adult to help. We're going to start at the corner and peel all of the paper off of the tube. Once I've got all the paper off, I'm just going to use my thumbs to push in at the seam and pop. Oh, that startled me a little. Go ahead and take your pizza dough out of the tube. Time to unroll our pizza dough. Be very careful, we don't want to tear our dough. Once you've got your pizza dough in a nice rectangular shape, we're going to need to find something to cut it with. I'm going to use a pizza roller. We're going to cut our pizza dough in half. One line right down the middle from the top to the bottom. So right now we have 2 pieces. We need to make 10. So now we'll roll from side to side, making smaller rectangles. And we're going to cut 5 times. Mine didn't turn out very even. Hopefully you can do a little better. Grab a spoon, and we'll start filling our tacos. We're going to put just a spoonful of ground beef into the middle of one of our rectangles. Next, we'll add one of our cheese sticks. Here comes what I think is the trickiest part of all. We've got to try and roll the meat and the cheese stick up in the small rectangle shape. It's kind of like a game of hide and seek. Roll up your dough around your meat and your cheese, making sure that you pinch all of the corners together. We don't want there to be any holes in our pizza sticks. So go ahead and fill all 10 of your rectangles with ground beef and a cheese stick. Now it's time to grease our baking sheet. If you haven't already got your baking sheet out, maybe ask an adult to help you find one and to lightly grease the sheet for you. We're going to transfer our taco sticks from wherever you've rolled them onto that lightly greased baking sheet. You should be able to get all 10 of your taco sticks onto one sheet. But we still have one more thing left to do before we can put them in the oven. Grab yourself a microwave-safe mixing bowl or a small saucepan. This recipe calls for 4 tablespoons of butter, and this stick of butter is exactly 4 tablespoons. So let's unpeel the stick of butter and put it into our microwave-safe bowl. If you have a child safety knife, so one that's not really sharp, you can cut your butter into smaller pieces. If you don't have one that's child safe, then go ahead and have an adult help you cut it into smaller pieces. This just means it's going to help it to melt a little bit quicker. Now, depending on what way you're choosing to use, go ahead and melt your butter. Once your butter's melted, you're going to need 1 teaspoon of parsley, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Once you've got both of those spices and seasonings in, you can go ahead and mix it all together. It kind of looks like split pea soup to me. Now it's time to spread our butter mixture over top of each of our taco sticks. I don't have a brush to use, so I'm just going to use my spoon. I'm just going to pour some onto my taco sticks from the spoon and then spread it out if I need to. The butter is going to burn a little bit in your pan, but as long as you've greased it pretty well, it should be okay. It just may make a little bit of a mess for whoever's doing the cleanup. Once you've got your taco sticks nicely coated with that butter, parsley, and garlic powder, you're going to put them in the oven. You need to bake them for anywhere from 10 to 12 minutes depending on your oven at home. Make sure you set a timer because you don't want to overcook your taco sticks. The last thing you want is burnt, cheesy taco sticks. Once your timer goes off, take your cheesy taco sticks out of the oven. Here's how mine turned out. Notice how they didn't all stay closed? That's okay. I kind of like them better when they don't stay totally closed because it's a perfect way for me to add all of my favorite taco toppings into my cheesy taco sticks, like sour cream and salsa, maybe some lettuce and tomatoes. What are you going to add to your cheesy taco sticks?